First thing you're going to need is a bucket. This is what's going to hold your plant. This is going to essentially be the self-watering container. Here we have a 16-liter bucket, and you can find these pretty much at any restaurant that you go to. They'll give them away to you for free. And you'll need a saw, some PVC piping, which you can get at a hardware store, some electoral board. This, you can get these after elections, or something that is firm like this. A yogurt container or some other plant container. It's about 500 grams. Scissors. The stronger scissors you can get, the better. Some plastic ties. They don't have to be this long, but whatever you can find is good. A drill with a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch drill bit. A large bucket of soil. And of course, your plant. This is a tomato plant. So the first step we're going to do is creating our platform that will be inside of our bucket. To do so, you want to take a marker and go around the top of the bucket. Once you've done this, you can flip the bucket over and trace the bottom of the bucket. The next stage, what you'll want to do is, in order for this to fit inside of the bucket firmly, you'll want to cut in between these two lines. Once you've cut out the platform from the electoral board, you want to take it and put it inside the bucket and see if it will fit in about 3/4 of the way down. What this is going to create is so that the water is on the bottom and the soil is up on the top. The next step will be tracing the bottom yogurt container also on your electoral board. Do the same thing as you did with the bucket. Take the top, trace around it, and then take the bottom portion and trace it within the circle. And then what you're going to want to do is cut out in between these two lines in order for this to rest down and hold inside of this platform. Once you've cut out your inside hole, you'll want to make sure that it fits this container right up to near the top like this, so that it holds it up. Sometimes it won't fit, so just take an X-Acto knife or scissors if you can get, and just keep trimming it until it fits right there and then it can't fall through. You'll need this. This will act as your wick. The next step will be measuring for your pipe. So you take it and you place it on the side, and you'll want to trace around it like this. Also, during this stage, you can take your saw and you can cut it on an angle. The reason why it's cut on an angle is because when it goes down into the bucket, as we'll see later, it doesn't flush with the bucket, so it allows water to come out and not get clogged by dirt. Cutting out this hole can be very difficult, this black hole for your tubing. We recommend, if you can get a hold of a 1/2 inch drill bit like this, it makes it a lot easier, as you're able to push it in here and start your hole. And then you can use an X-Acto knife to go inside of here, or some scissors. Because the yogurt container acts as a wick that goes through the platform, you need to make sure there's holes in it. This happens to already have holes in it, so it's great. But you also need to make holes on the side so that it can connect to the top of the platform, which we'll see in the next step. If you have a yogurt container, you'll just want to take, and as you can see here, I drilled in some holes, and then even a few holes in the bottom. And then a couple holes up along the side here, about 3 holes, as you can see that I've done with this one. And that's just to hold it in place with the twist ties. So the next thing you'd want to do is you want to take the container and line it up and figure out where the holes line up on to the container here. So they are here, here and here, and here and here. And you want to mark off 2 spots where you're going to drill. We've already drilled the first ones, and then the second ones. And this is going to hold it when it ties together. So you want to have the holes in here, and you want to have the holes here. So basically line it up and drill through these 3 holes. So now once you have your yogurt container in place on your platform, you're going to tie it off with twist ties. And basically, you just want to bring it up through here, in through the hole in your yogurt container, and then back down through this hole, in through the twist tie, and then pull it taut. What this is doing is keeping it so that the platform and the wick, the yogurt container, stay together. So now as you can see, this platform is going to go in the bucket. There's going to be soil in here that's going to draw up water into the above part where the plant is. The next step is to build the support that will be underneath your platform. So you want to measure out some of your electrical board that you still have left over from using this at the beginning to build these little supports under here. So you cut them out, you see how big it is, and you cut it out here. Then you draw on a line onto these spots and then cut into them like this. So what it's essentially going to do is go in like this into the bottom of the bucket, and then you'll have your other ones coming across like this. And we'll show you in the next step how it situates in the bottom of the bucket. But you basically just want to cut along these black lines so that it can fold into each other. Okay, so you want to build the platform like we were showing you before, and then just kind of put it together. It looks kind of a little bit wonky, but that's okay, because it really just needs to be a subtle support for inside. So you take it then, and you put it inside the bucket, which I'll do right now. You put it straight down in, all the way to the bottom. And if you see when you look in here, it's at the bottom, and it's going to be able to take the top of the platform here, which will go right down inside of it, and then will be supported so that it won't fall down. So then when you put your soil on top, it won't collapse this board here. So that's the purpose of it. So like we were saying earlier, you have the PVC pipe, which you cut on an angle, that you see here, and you want to measure it. Before you cut it, you always want to measure to make sure it's long enough, because this is going to be how you will water your plants like this. So then you take it inside and find that hole that we drilled for earlier, and then you're just going to put it straight through there, and then it's going to come out the top. A very important step is to have an overflow hole so that you don't fill up too much water that comes up into your plants. So you want to look and see where's your platform going to be situated, and you can tell that that's the top of the platform right there. So just underneath that is where we would want to drill a hole, just so it never can go above that. So just mark off a hole like this, take your drill, and that's all you need to do. And this way you'll be assured that no matter how much you put in, it would never come up and push up the platform. Now that you have your platform built with your watering pipe here, and you're tied in, you're going to fill up the wick here with soil. And different than when you put it on top, you want to compact it a little bit more. You want it to act as a wick, and you don't want it to be loose and crumbling in through the holes. So you push down pretty hard there, as you can see I'm doing right now. Once you've completed this step, you can move over, bring in your bucket, and you've got your platform thing there to keep it from falling. And then we're basically going to take the container like this, drop it right down in, as you see here. And then we're going to add soil on top of this. So I'll just add some right now. You'll need a pretty large bucket to do this. Once you've got your soil to the top, you want to create a space that it can go into, and then we're going to add our plant. So we've got a healthy tomato plant here that we've been growing. So we're just going to want to bring it out of its soil, which is going to cause a mess, so be careful. And then we're going to take it and we're going to place it down in to the bin. And we're going to pack around it, just like so. At first, when you're doing this, until your plant's roots have developed down into the bottom, you can give it some help and water it from the top. But eventually, all the watering you'll need to do will come through the side of this piping here. If you need to use a funnel to do this, it can help you. Or you can find a larger tube. This one's a little bit small. But after a while, you will only need to put water in through this tube, and it will fill up the reservoir, and you will only have to water every once in a while. So it gives you a lot more space to leave and not to have to focus on daily watering of your plants. That's the benefits of the self-watering container. So there it is, self-watering container.